Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. Today's video, you guessed it from the title. We're going to put the Epiphone EJ200 against the Taylor 114 CE. Now, the Epiphone EJ200 is $679 Canadian, and of course our Taylor 114 CE, when I bought it anyways, was around $1,200–$1,300, around that area. But you can find one on Reverb right now for around $1,500, which is kind of ludicrous for a 114 CE. But Long & McQuaid has now discontinued the 114 CE, but they do still have the regular 114 Dreadnought styled body. This is the cutaway, so a little bit different. Anyways, so let's get started with this. Now, the one thing that both guitars are going to have in common is they both have the exact same brand and type of strings. So, Elixir NanoWeb, phosphorus bronze, gauge is 1253. I personally did not like the strings that came with the Epiphone EJ200, and they were the Darios. But I like the Darios on electric guitars, but didn't like them on the EJ. So anyways, I went ahead, took my last set of spare strings, which were Elixir NanoWeb Phosphorus Bronze 1253s. So at least the gauge is consistently the same between the Darios and the Elixirs for this Epiphone, but we are a brand different. So they do have the same strings. Both guitars, of course, are definitely different in body size and dimensions, because the EJ is a super jumbo, where this is like a concert auditorium, so it's, you know, thinner profiled, smaller body, that sort of thing. Now, we are not doing a plugged-in test. That would be completely unfair in that sense, because the electronics in the Epiphone are far superior to the Taylor, in that it has a full EQ and then some, where the Taylor only has volume, bass, and treble. Okay, so I have bass, mid, treble, and other features on the Epiphone. So we are not going to do a plugged-in comparison in that way. To do it fairly, we would have to have the same electronics as far as that goes, to see how each body style would actually react with the same electronics. So in this case, we're going to see how the body styles acoustically go against each other and having the same strings. So take it for what it's worth on that one. Anyway, so let's play some chords and see what we've got. So there's some basic chording. Okay, so next test, we'll start up at the E. Okay, bar chords. And for our last test, we're going to use Capo. Now, although I personally am not a huge fan of the Capo, it does come in handy. Great for changing keys, changing tuning, that sort of thing, matching to your vocals. Kind of is a really neat little device for that. So we're going to start in the key of A flat, and we're just going to play a couple of chords. So now let's bring it up to where you probably shouldn't go beyond with the Capo, and that's the 5th fret. Now this kind of puts us into the ukulele tuning. Okay, so you can actually play your guitar like a ukulele this way too if you wanted to. But anyways, we're just going to play regular chord patterns. Okay, so now we can actually put this one back in the rack now. Okay guys, so let me know in the comments below which one you not only liked the best, but you thought, in your opinion, would be the best. Now, as a guitar player myself, I buy a lot of guitars, as you guys know, and I ditch a lot of them too. Mostly if they're sitting around just collecting dust, because it's like, why are they there? I bought it for a reason at the time, but turns out I didn't use it. But anyways, so when it comes to guitars, picking out a guitar for you, pretty important choice. You know, you have to look at a lot of different things, and I have a video coming up on that too. So stay tuned to the channel for the multiple tips on buying a guitar, right? And it'll stand for acoustics or electrics. So now, which one does Kevy prefer? Well, to be honest with you, I honestly do prefer the Taylor over the Epiphone. And it has nothing to do with price, because They both sound fantastic, even with the same strings. They both sound great. They both play great. In fact, the one thing I do like about the Epiphone is the action is so much lower. It's almost half of my Taylor. And my Taylor is finally back to specs, by the way, if you haven't been staying tuned. My saddle came in from Taylor the other day, which is the exact same cut as the original. And it fit like a glove, and it brought everything right back up to factory specs for heights. So we're back to factory specs on the guitar, and it seems that the buzzing is now gone that was left over, so my guitar is now 100% again, which is also fantastic. So kudos to Taylor for sending me that saddle, and they didn't charge me for it, so that was awesome of them as well. And at least it's the proper saddle for the guitar. So if you do have a Taylor and something does happen with your saddle, make sure to always order replacement saddle, even the nut, by the model number of your guitar and the serial number. Very important to make sure both of them are there. And they will ask you for the model and the serial number of the guitar. So that's a very key thing to note in order to get the exact proper parts for your particular model of Taylor. So, anyways, I still want to upgrade my tuners though on this thing, just because I want some gold tuners. It would go so well, But the tuners that are 100 are fine. I have a gold fetish problem. Anyways, so overall, in my opinion, if I was looking at both of these guitars myself, because I can play a super jumbo body, it doesn't affect me for playability, which is a very important factor. When it comes to that, I would definitely pick the Taylor, not because of the price, but the size is a big thing for me. I like the size of it. Even though both have cutaways, it doesn't matter. I love the comfort of this. It's very lightweight too, which is also very nice. I like that part about the Taylor. Even though the action's a little bit higher and it can't really go lower in this case, not by much more anyways, or we were back to Buzzworld. They are fantastic sounding instruments. I find I get more than enough bass response. I get the calmer mids and trebles, where I find the Epiphone's a little more bitey on the mids and trebles. Still having good bass response, but things are just so much more, bitey, bright, I guess you could say. Not quite as well balanced as the Taylor is for overall sound. However, there is a purpose for every guitar, and the EJ200 is not a purchase that I regret. It is something that, I wanted a spare guitar, didn't want to spend a whole lot of money either, but at the same time I wanted something that's good, playable, and it turns out it can serve its purpose in some music that this thing actually doesn't do as well in, okay? It's only a few songs, but hey, it's important if you're after that specific sound to be able to get it. And acoustically, I can't get it out of this thing, but I can out of that one. So there is that good point too, right? But overall, I do prefer the Taylor myself. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Stay tuned. We got more videos coming. So see ya.